We are live. Today is May 23rd, 2017, and we are less than 24 hours from the kickoff of the 2017 HCS Summer Pro League and the battle for DreamHack and that $100,000 prize pool. Only 6 of the 8 North American teams will qualify to go to that event. So this is a big deal for these teams. I'd like to welcome everybody watching on Twitch and then later on YouTube. If you don't know by now, this is HCS Now, a show for the community by the community, coming to you live from the wonderful UGC studios down here in Southern Illinois. I'd like to give a big shout out to our newest sponsor, Geek Fuel, and use this link when you go get your next monthly mystery box, and it'll help support the stream and keep us going week in and week out. And I am your host, Computer, and I am joined with my co-host, as usual,
Default
and Mummy.
And we got a stacked show for you guys. Let's go ahead and roll it with Halo Hot Topics. Just when you think it's going to be a slow news week for Halo,
yeah,
2 legendary Halo competitive players / coaches, player coach, retired on us on the Sunday. So I mean, big news. That's biggest news that we've heard in a while.
It's big news for Towie.
Yeah,
you know, it is big. Nathan's retired once before.
Yeah, and this isn't a full retirement anyway. He said if the next Halo, if he likes the next Halo better, he's coming back. So Towie is a bigger issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't see Towie retiring. Nated, we've seen him leave the scene before, and then he came back. He left the scene once before, and he started streaming, and he did really well streaming. Then he came back and stopped streaming and competed again. He didn't say he's retiring completely, kind of. He said he's just retiring from Halo 5, and he would considering coming back to Halo if the next Halo title is worth playing. So
come on, man.
So.
Yeah, end it like that, like just be like, I've had my fun with Halo 5. I'm just looking for the next game. Don't be like, if the next game's better.
Yeah, I can see some of the frustrations with Halo 5.
Oh yeah, it's okay. It's understandable.
And if he, these players are under a lot of stress because they have to perform for their organization and for their teammates. And I can see if your team is not performing, the stress level that you can be under when you're not winning. Yeah. And I think that may have been a factor.
Well, he also has the comfortability of he don't need to compete for money, because last year he won second place at Worlds, so he probably still has that, plus his money from his Twitch that he gets. So he's probably pretty good on money to where he don't need to compete, where he can make that choice.
Well, I don't know if it's
he's just a competitive guy. He wants to win.
Yeah, it's not even about money most of the time. Yeah, they want to be the best.
That's my other point. Like, did he retire because he wasn't on the right team? Like, what if he was on a good team, like, would his decision still be the same?
Obviously that would differ.
If you're winning, you're not going to
I mean, I'm not even saying number one team. I'm talking about, like, just hitting, like, at least fourth. Like, at least a decent team.
Obviously, not winning and not performing had a big factor in retiring.
Because this same thing happened with Optic.
He didn't straight up say he doesn't like Halo 5, but that might be a factor as well. It seemed as
this is true.
Maybe he doesn't like Halo 5.
Yeah.
A lot of the older players, they don't prefer the fast-paced gameplay of Halo 5, which I don't either. I'm more of a slower Halo player. I prefer the older Halos that play a little bit slower than Halo 5, like Halo 3. And I can understand if you don't enjoy what you're doing. You're stressed out all the time because your team's not performing. You're under pressure from the orgs, the sponsors, your teammates, and your fans to perform, and it's not happening. Yeah, I can see why you would not want to be under that circumstance.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And we might see him back for the next Halo if the next Halo resembles more of the older Halo play style. Then I think we'll see a lot of people come back. That
I hope he does, because I like watching Nated.
We're losing.
He gets really hyped. I watched the Worlds video where he's like just screaming in the microphone.
Yeah.
Dude, that was
Oh,
the
Nate
funniest
is one
thing.
of the best players to watch.
Yeah.
And it's gonna suck not seeing him at Lands because he's like he's the most fun player to watch. He has the most passion during the game, and you can just see it in his face. He literally cried, or pretty much cried during an interview when they qualified for Worlds.
Yeah. Or
So-
that death stare.
Yeah, I was about to say the death
Yeah,
stare
the
was
death stare.
Man.
Is
Kill
definitely
somebody.
gonna be missed. It's another legend gone from the competitive Halo for the time being,
He'll be
and
back.
it's
He'll be
sad to
back, I
see all the legends that aren't playing. You missed watching play back in the day. Towie retiring effective immediately from being the coach on the EG roster. One of the greatest coaches of all time is replaced by one of the greatest players of all time, Ogre 2.
Yeah, like I said, he left it in good hands though.
Yeah.
Ogre 2.
Ogre 2, now, we'll talk about him in a bit. So, Towie, he's calling it quits. He's going to stay with EG and take more of a management role. He reinvented what coaching is in Halo.
Yeah.
He took coaching to another level. He made it more than just a timer, a stopwatch. He took it to the next level. He started making plays for people. You know, coaching can be as simple as you want it to be, or it can be as complicated as you want it to be. And he, elevated coaching for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's also he also said like his job,
Yeah,
because he watches screens all day.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So like when he coaches, it makes it because of his job and his I guess learning experience with that. It makes it easy to look at 4 screens and all of them at the same time. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
yeah.
And he was one of the best coaches out there. Like everybody says it too. Like I just wish he went out on a higher note. Like,
Yeah.
but
He probably got offered the job and is like,
it's a smart move for him. Yeah.
Yeah, there's, and the break from the Twins, that he's been coaching the Twins for so long, and we've seen videos of the Twins getting into arguments a lot, and I think it's just a much needed change, and I hope EG really improves. Ogre 2, he's gonna take his place.
Yep.
So we got one of the greatest Halo players of all time that's going to be coaching EG, and Ogre 2 probably has more Halo knowledge than any other person that's ever played the game.
yeah.
So will Ogre 2 affect EG, and
I don't know.
will it take the EG squad to the next level?
I mean, we all hope, but it's hard to say.
I mean-
I've never heard or seen him coach before.
Well, he wasn't. He was what, their analyst.
They're
before?
analysts, yeah.
So I mean, having Towie as a coach, I don't know if it's gonna make them better, because Towie was one of the greatest coaches. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna make the team better. Maybe with tapping buttons now,
Well-
new squad.
Here's the thing. Towie and the Twins, they used to clash a lot.
Yeah.
And I think Ogre 2 is going to bring the calmness to the team. Like, he's a voice of calm, voice of reason, a new voice in your head. You're not going to be clashing with Ogre 2. I mean, he's like one of the nicest guys. And I think that will help bring the team together a little bit more.
We hope.
Yeah. And so Nated, he's going to be replaced with tapping buttons.
Yeah.
This guy is a superstar in Halo coming out of Mexico. He's not a superstar yet. He's going to be a superstar because the man is insanely good at Halo. We just never had a great opportunity to see him shine. He did qualify for Worlds this year, but he was unable to attend due to like a visa issue. And so this is going to be one of the first times we actually get to see what he can do against these North American squads. I'm pretty excited about this because I don't think I've ever seen a player from Mexico come into the scene like this.
Is he moving to the house?
And that's another question. I don't think he is. So will his living so far south be a problem with an online pro league?
Yes.
With latency.
It will be
And
an issue.
I've talked about that a few times, and I don't know. I mean, it's not like their internet's bad. It's just the distance.
The
but
distance, yeah.
It could be an issue. This man is so good. He's been accused of using keyboard and mouse at times. That's how good he is. So
Pretty good.
yeah,
I mean, they've been doing pretty good in the scrims lately.
Yeah.
With him.
yeah.
So
Tapping buttons. Yeah, he actually in the scrim we'll talk about later. He actually did really well. Another thing I noticed that when they first scrimmed with tapping buttons, he was very quiet. Like, he almost never even called out at all. Now, I don't know much about tapping buttons because, like, he's been very off the grid for a Halo player. Like, it's even hard to find anything about him on the internet. So I don't know if he can speak English fluently. I don't know.
I would assume he does.
And because he was hardly ever talking during scrims.
I mean, that's not
And
the only.
also, I think another thing is he might be intimidated by how much the twins argue because he's new and he's like, you're hearing two guys just argue the whole time and you're kind of intimidated by it. I would be.
But there's other players who don't really call out and talk too much. They kind of let him do his thing.
Yeah.
Usually the Slayer really don't really talk very often.
I think to me it's just an adjustment. He's with
It's going to take some time.
Yeah, he was on a Mexican team and like they wasn't that big, and now he's on EG.
He's going to have a lot more of a spotlight on him.
Spotlight, and it's taking an adjustment.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this guy play on LAN. I hope that EG improves. I really think they're going to, and I'm really excited to see a player from this side of the region come in and just be catapulted into mainstream Halo, and we get to see what he can do.
I wonder if this is going to open up doors for other.
That's what I'm thinking. Like this is what Halo needs.
Yeah, like
that country or his region now has someone to root for.
Yeah, yeah, that's what's great about it. That's going to bring in more views. Yeah,
exactly. Naded, I suspect he's going to go back to streaming and making content. And Towie's actually a pretty good content maker too. He just uploaded a video today that I watched. So that's like on the plus side of things. Those two people that quit competitive Halo, I'm sure they will be in the content grind. So we'll get a lot more content out of both of those.
Well, Towie's not going anywhere. He's still going to be around. You're still going to see him at events and stuff. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah, and hope the best for both of them. And we are going to be moving on to what happened just recently last weekend, which is the LCQZ.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Last chance qualifier went down. So Splice is officially your 8th seed for the North American Pro League. They defeated Oxygen Supremacy last week during the last chance qualifier. Now, how many times have we seen Oxygen go up in a series only to fall short?
Yes.
They went up in the last series against Splice. This has happened before. They went up 2-0 on them and then never got it. They just fell on their face.
I think it was I can't remember what game it was, but Ela might even called it. He's like, they lost. He's like, that's gonna be a tilt series. I mean, after that game, he's like, they're just gonna fall off from there, and they did.
They called
tilt. They tilted hard.
It happened. It happens every time though. But I don't know what happens to them.
Yeah. When I was watching the series, Oxygen Supremacy took a commanding 2-game lead on Splice, and I was like, "Wow, this is going to happen."
I
and
thought
then
so.
They fell on their face the next 3 games. So I don't know if it's just because they're very good at certain game types, or they just run out of gas, or they get tilted when they lose.
Yeah, I think it's a tilt.
But it's the second time I've seen them do this against Splice.
Yeah, they don't keep it together very often. It's like once a series or a game type goes bad for them, it's like it goes downhill.
But that's what separates, amateur teams from pro teams. Like Splice was down 2-0, or 0-2, they come back to win the series because they didn't get tilted. They kept their composure. So I mean,
they deserve it. 100%.
They deserve it because they beat Oxygen Supremacy 2 times.
Yeah,
I mean, Oxygen Supremacy had every chance in the world to beat Splice. They got beat in the semifinals, and then they got beat in the finals. So you can't say it was a fluke or anything. And they also got beat by Splice in Daytona.
Yeah, they did. I don't know. I thought they were going to pull it out this time.
So
I already knew that.
I think they're 0-4 against Splice at this point. The last 4 times they played them. So I mean, it is what it is. I would love to see Oxygen Supremacy in the Pro League. I do think that we have enough talent to add more teams to the Pro League and have a 10-team Pro League. I don't understand. I don't understand why we only have 8 when we have enough talent. We need to try to include more people in Halo and stop. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Scrim scores over the last few days. We'll see what those were looking like. I don't think we've seen any big surprises. This is thanks to HaloDataHive.com. Make sure you check out their website for all the latest Scrim scores and player stats. So Evil Geniuses had a really good scrim against Straight Rippin'. And I also want to talk about tapping buttons. He had the highest KD and KDA of all the players in that scrim. All the players of Straight and Evil Geniuses. He had the highest KD and KDA.
See, I didn't check into that, but once they announced him as a player, I was like, I wonder how he's gonna do against North American pros. And
he does pretty well.
good.
Yeah. So Evil Geniuses, their scrims are looking fairly good recently. So I do think that we might see a little hope out of them if they play together a little bit longer. They're not going to be as practiced as the other teams, considering they just made that team change and coach change. So they're got a lot to work through before the Pro League, which starts tomorrow.
Yay!
And yes, it does start tomorrow. I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter like, Pro League starts tomorrow? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Starts tomorrow.
Well, it's not being promoted very well. I don't even want to get into that because I'll just get angry. Pro League. I got a question I want to ask everybody. I want to talk about this a little bit. I was starting to bring it up earlier. Is the Pro League healthy for Halo esports? I'm going to say no.
No?
No. Because it's
you want to
too
be
much
like
exclusivity.
Yeah, okay.
I understand you get to watch. I mean, there's benefits, but there's a lot of cons. You get to watch 2 days a week of Halo, but it's online. It's so exclusive. Like, it gives no amateur teams a reason to even try to play Halo. The amateur format is really bad. I just don't think that the Pro League is healthy for Halo. It's not going to help grow it. It doesn't help grow. It doesn't even really help grow the fan base that much. It's like we need to have more open LAN tournaments. Open LAN tournaments is.
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I mean, but the Pro League, I still watch.
Well,
I still
we
enjoy
watching it, but it's not going to grow. The Halo as a whole. It's slowly killing it, and it really is. Because there's just no one's wanting to try to get in the Pro League. You have no shot.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
hard
to get in the Pro League.
Yeah, it is.
Really hard.
It is, but at the same time, we can't be having LANs like all
we
the
could.
time.
If
we
you
could. Yes,
you
we
can.
If you want.
If you let anybody do it, not just exclusive to ESL or whoever 3x3 chooses.
That's what I'm saying. It's limited right now with.
The Pro League is limiting. It's very limiting.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's healthy for Halo. You can ask, and even MLG will say Pro Leagues don't work for esports.
Yeah.
They just do not grow.
Well, that's why we need LAN back on. For Halos.
Yeah, we do.
I experienced something last night.
What?
For the first time, I experienced heavy aim.
See, my problem with heavy aim is here recently. I haven't been playing very often because I'm busy. But I don't know if I'm experiencing it or not. Because sometimes I'm thinking maybe I'm just having an off day.
Okay. This is what I think. I probably have experienced it before, but never noticed it.
I don't notice it.
But this is the first time that I noticed it immensely. I just knew it was happening to me because the game before I dropped 30 kills in a CTF game, right?
Yeah.
And then the next game I went 3-16.
Jesus.
Because I had heavy aim.
That's no heavy aim.
Yes, it was.
Man, 3-16.
I had heavy aim, and I was so pissed. I was embarrassed, yes, and I was trying to explain to everyone that I'm not crazy. I'm not some crazy conspiracy guy. It's a real thing, and I had it. I literally couldn't. I felt like I was in mud. And then the next game after that, I was right back to normal, getting kills.
Did you get bad messages after that game?
Dude, it was terrible because we were winning the entire game, and we ended up losing 49-50.
And you had 3
I had
kills.
3.
Oh,
So you was getting carried hard.
Yeah.
Dude, seriously,
I just think you had a bad game.
it was heavy aim. I've never felt.
What's it feel like?
It feels like you are in mud. It really felt that way. And
I'm gonna go searching
Well,
for this.
don't hold your breath on a fix.
so and
Yeah.
and so that's what I was gonna bring up. 3 for 3, or a representative of 3 for 3, the only one that knows how to talk to the community, said, "Do not hold your breath for the heavy aim fix, but it is coming."
That's a nice way to
So,
put it.
and I said, I hope I never have to play with heavy aim again, because that was a nightmare, dude. I would never want to do that again. Ooh, that was bad. We got a special guest on for you guys tonight,
Yeah.
and our next segment coming up, and it is called Community Spotlight. Right.
Must be at the end.
All right, our special guest is David Throp. He also does a Halo show,
He also does one.
and it is called The Pit, and he has a new episode coming up, and I want him to tell everyone about it so we can get him some great exposure for this episode, because I think it's a great idea.
Well, thanks a lot for having me, guys, and
No
thanks
problem.
for giving me the chance to talk about it real quick. But yeah, I think we actually all talked about this while we were at St. Louis a little bit. Just kind of the divide in the Halo community as a whole, right? Like this casual versus competitive, kind of. The two communities really seem split. And while we have this really hardcore community that exists on Team Beyond, which is awesome and really, pushes competitive Halo esports forward and kind of supports it, I'm trying to figure out how we can get more of the casual fans, the people who play Halo, Warzone, and are still fans of the series and the franchise, into the competitive side, right? Because those are obviously the easiest people to convert. It's much easier to get them to be fans of Halo esports than people who've never played Halo before, or who don't have some connection to the series already, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's really what this show is about. And I think kind of the reaction, I'm not sure if you saw on Team Beyond, I think Chad was the guy who posted a pretty funny meme. I laughed, I'm not going to lie. It made me laugh. But just that reaction to having the casual community, even allowing them to have a side to it, I think is kind of what the problem is, because realistically, most people, when they play video games, are not trying to be the best player. A lot of people are just trying to have fun with it and compete. And, esports really, like, there's a pretty famous in esports circles, at least, a survey that Riot Games did early on when they were developing the LCS, and they were trying to figure out, like, what is one of the primary reasons that people watch esports? Like, why do people engage in this so heavily? And one of the main reasons was people like to improve at the game, right? People like to see little tips and tricks and little map movements and little things that they can do to get better.
Right.
So realistically, we just need to be able to figure out a way that the casual community and the competitive community can kind of interact, because we really do need the casual community to support our esports, even if they're not, the biggest fan, they're not watching every pro league game. We definitely want to make sure that the majority of people who play Halo are really into, like, the world championship and things like that, and make those a little bit bigger events so they can be perhaps more successful than last year's, even though, the viewing figures. I mean, the last World Championship was kind of interesting because the online numbers were really good, but the numbers in studio, obviously, there's that whole, like, live event debacle. But yeah, really, that's what I'm trying to do. So it'll be Mickwin and Green Skull, the Halo YouTuber. It'll be this Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, I just really want to get as many people from both communities involved as possible. I'll be reading the Twitch chat the entire time. So if you guys are in there and you kind of have questions or want to get involved that way, we'll definitely, we'll be reading those and be responding to the best ones and looking to really try and figure out how we can kind of help bring these two communities together. Because that's what made Halo so awesome in the beginning, right? We had our MLG settings and other people could play Tower of Power and Zombies and, make the race maps and all that crazy stuff. So we really want to figure out how we can get everybody on the same page, I guess.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting show. I actually was really excited about the concept when I heard about it. Green Skull, I don't know if everybody knows, but he's actually probably the biggest Halo YouTuber that there is.
Definitely.
And he has a massive following.
Yeah.
And Mickwin, he's been a competitive player all of his life. So I really am interested. I'm interested in what you're going to try to do with this show. Do you want are you just trying to convert casual players to the competitive scene and vice versa? or you just want to show that there's like parallel lines between the two, so everybody can enjoy it equally?
Kind of both, ideally. I mean, I definitely like to convert some of Green Skull's fans and some of, the huge following that he has for some of the silly stuff that he does on YouTube that, he has so much fun doing with Halo, and get some of those people involved in the esports side. But also, I think the esports community as a whole, in Halo specifically, we have this really, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this, but we have this really standoffish attitude, I guess, with the casual community, right? Like we really don't like the casual side, and we're like, oh, they're the reasons that the game is getting dumbed down and blah 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 blah. Yeah. And it's not the person who buys Halo and just enjoys the Halo franchise's fault what decisions get made with the competitive settings at Microsoft and 343, right? Like we can't be blaming the people who, these people theoretically love Halo as much as you do. Maybe it's for a different reason. But these guys are huge fans of Halo too, right? And ultimately, at the end of the day, whether you're a casual fan and you want to see more, stuff for Warzone and more drops in your game, or you're a competitive person and you want more open lands like you guys were talking about, which I completely agree with, the more of those we can have, the better. Yeah. Ultimately, we both want the same thing, which is a more successful Halo franchise. The more people are playing, the more people are talking about, that's giving 343 more money and incentive to go, hey guys, like we should be putting more stuff into this game. There's a lot of people playing. There's a lot of people unlocking everything. Like we need to keep producing the content, right? Whereas if the active community and the player base dies and dwindles, then it's not really like there's not as much incentive there for them to do that. So really, I'm just trying to figure out how. I mean, I think the settings this season were a great step for like the the pistol only. They removed the assault rifle. It looks like on the competitive side, we're finally starting to get what we want. But it's really just about trying to bring those communities together so we can ultimately grow the Halo community as big as possible.
Yeah, casual gamers are huge for a game. I mean, look at Destiny. Destiny is a hugely popular game, and probably 90% of the people in that game are casual gamers. But because the game is so popular, it gets a lot of exposure. And it doesn't matter if it's because it's popular because of casual gamers or pro gamers. The game is popular, and that's really all that matters in the long run. Is you want your game to be popular.
Yeah.
If it's popular, it's going to cross over to when you have events, and that's what I think what a lot of people miss in when it comes to casual and competitive. You need both. You really do.
Yep. Definitely. Couldn't agree more.
So your show, Sunday night, is it going to be a live show or is it going to be pre-taped?
Yeah. No, it's going to be live. So like I said, I'll be reading Twitch chat. If you have a good question and you stop by and chat and you have something to interact with the show, I'll definitely be looking for that and be throwing that at Mickwin and Green Skull kind of accordingly. And so it'll be 4 p.m. Eastern Sunday on my Twitch channel. And yeah.
Okay, well, I hope it doesn't turn into like a Jerry Springer episode where you got, Mickwin going off on Green Skull and Green Skull like, no.
No, they're actually friends, or like they know each other beforehand. Yeah. So I asked, Green Skull lives very close to me.
Okay.
So I was just speaking with him and I said, what would be the pro that you'd, be most comfortable doing this with? And he said Mickwin. And I'm like, well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Mickwin's a very articulate guy, very popular guy. And obviously they just won Daytona this weekend. So
yeah. Perfect timing.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch the show. Thank you for coming on here for our community spotlight. We need to get you on a few more times and get your input on what's going down in the competitive Halo scene. I know you follow a lot of other esports as well. I wish I had time to. Make sure you check out David Throp's Twitter and his show, The Pit. And I think it's going to be a good one. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys.
No problem.
Got to make sure you get you guys on an episode of mine at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, anytime, man. Just tell us when.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll make it happen. So thanks again, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. Next segment, let's go into Player of the Week. All right, we had you guys vote on Twitter for this week's Player of the Week like we do every week. So you make sure you follow us at HCS_now, and you can vote for Player of the Week next week. And who is the Player of the Week?
Tapping buttons.
And it is well deserved because the man came out of nowhere and landed a spot on one of the biggest orgs in esports, EG. This guy has got everything going for him right now, and I think he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, it's exciting to see. I'm excited to see what he can do.
Will
honestly,
he be the person to turn around EG?
Will he be? I hope
I
so.
hope so.
I would. I mean, I would love to see a team.
Will he be the problem?
What I want to see a team break into the top 3 other than Optic Envy and Liquid. Splice.
I mean, if you
is
think
there.
about it, like it's always been Optic, but like Envy's been kind of flip flopped, you know.
Yeah.
But EG, you gotta say, EG had their time.
Yeah.
They was Optic not too long ago. They was winning everything.
Yeah.
So
In another era.
another game, but still, hey, they won X Games.
Yeah. Splice is close. Splice is
Splice is a team
fighting on the
I
hills.
hope will
But
get up there.
I think they could.
They will.
If they stick together, they'll make it.
Splice has been very impressive lately.
Yeah.
They have been. They have been. Let's go to the next segment. It'll be Slay of the Week presented to you by Geek Fuel. Make sure you check out Geek Fuel.
To the left. One shot. No, one shot. Man, for the base. Another base again. Oh my god, 3 dead. Go fast. You can run a ping. Somebody.
Ellie, pick up car.
Oh my god, dude, that was fucking insane.
Spawn their E line, bro. Like,
Fuck. The back flag. I shit on him though. That was worth. I had to do that.
Give me one shot. Alright. Double perfect. As possible.
top row, 1 shot. Absolutely didn't get it melee.
Goodness.
Top row, 1.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was supposed to do there. Stay alive, just get BR base. Top rail shoot.
I just made it. He dropped in. Hot capping everything. No one. Basin door.
SMG, one's SMG.
I got one. White corner. White corner rain.
SMG go in, they got rain.
Got another.
Alright, slow us down, so we're gonna go. Matt, you can get nest probably.
Okay. Thanks for the nade.
Alright, they're gonna be barrel spawn now, they're gonna be barrels.
Defend our carrier. Protect our carrier.
That's a double. And that's a triple.
10 seconds to sniper rifle. Find our flag. We found their carrier.
Ooh, drop the gear. And that's the match.
Yeah, go on. Watch out, they sniper round. Dead.
Two dead.
What's up? As a team,
I'm getting the cave in a second. No, they're flag. Weak.
One live. Got another. One dead.
Dude, they're window one shot.
Rocket weak.
Sick.
Launch the rocket launcher.
Got them window.
Got another.
Your accuracy
three.
is enviable. Obvious proficiency.
Hiding the flag. Get a back flag on me.
Scope explosion. Exciting.
After their cave. Ooh, just keep flying in front
Undisputable
of them.
potential.
They're going back to the flag from the corner. No, on a red. I got one.
You guys voted on Twitter for the winner of the Slay of the Week.
And we had a tie with Ace and Huke.
Huke? Last time I checked, Huke didn't have any votes.
It was tied.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
Man.
Ace won because that was just like
That was sweaty.
Yeah.
he
Pretty
was
sweaty.
like one shot after the first. Oh, he was like half. I don't know how he even pulled that off. Like after the first guy, he was one shot and then he still finished off 3 more guys. So I was impressed with that. I think Ace won.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't care about no damn tie.
Who are you to make the deciding choice?
I know.
That's for the
I'm not.
fans.
Yeah, well,
That's for them to
I'm
watch.
gonna make you happy today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I'm about to brag on your boy.
You don't have to brag. He always does good.
I'm gonna brag on him, and you're gonna be happy about it. And this week's Sleigh Breakdown. All right, this week's Sleigh Breakdown is all about Ryan Newby. Last week's Sleigh Breakdown, I kind of showed you how Envy pinched Optic in that Game 7 on True Slayer and won the Daytona tournament and where they were set up. But I'm just going to focus on one player for this week's Sleigh Breakdown because he was a one-man wrecking crew on this game.
Hey, he does this all the time.
Now, I want to bring up the graphic that I made showing – before I show the video, I want to show the graphic. This looks a little weird right now, but this was all done in one life. Okay, I just wanted to illustrate where
He had sniper, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I
okay,
know
I wanted
exactly
to
what you're talking about.
illustrate his map movement and what he did with this one life and a sniper rifle, and how smart of a player Ryan Noob is, and how he can stay alive with the best of them. I'm talking like Wizard.
Yeah, he's good.
Staying alive. You see where I wrote clutch is because that was the most stay alive clutch play I've ever seen. I want to play the video, and then I'll kind of talk about what he did here.
Nice body shots, but it looks like the flag is being pushed pretty far. And I don't know if Ryan's going to be able to hit these shots with players that are going to be shooting him. There's one onto Boo Boo Doo Boo. Make that two as he connects, but there are multiple players. All they have to do is take one. There it is. One player to just throw a pair to go and shoot that guy out of scope so the flag guy can get in.
Yep, and sure enough, they did do that. They just played it patiently, wait for some spawners, had the numbers advantage where they just flooded and secured the capture. Now, Ryan, I like that he didn't overcommit to it necessarily and just turn over that sniper rifle, but yeah, you know, definitely kind of a little heartbreaking flag capture here for the likes of Oxygen Supremacy.
Ryan Noob taking the Royal 2 approach, but something that may happen here is while Ryan's sniping, they could capture 3 flags right in front of his face. So, Ryan says, shut up, and he's going to go and lay down some serious damage there. Not, you know, someone that you think of having the most spectacular sniper rifle, but he's definitely been taking some good angles and playing pretty heads up.
Yeah, we'll see what he's able to do here in this spot. He hit a couple shots earlier, back down. He's back in that location again now and is trying to catch one of these players moving across the map. Destroyed, picking up a kill. Great grenade coming out of Boo Boo Doo Boo. Oh, but he didn't get the kill, actually. He stayed alive and is still pushing that flag.
Yeah, Boo Boo Doo was sitting there on the table being a nuisance. He's no shield, so Nemesis is going to eventually pick that one up. Looks like this flag should be able to get put in. It's right around the corner, and there it is. A lot of that having to do with Ryan Noob staying alive with that sniper rifle the entire time.
Yeah, wow, great map movement. Already in the base, grabbing yet another flag. Contra grabs a kill. That's a numbers advantage. Flag's already outside of the map. He's still got a little bit of health. Player bottom center, if they double team him, Ryan Noob gets one shot down. Destroyed is on the challenge, and they both stay alive.
And he's running the flag while he's doing it. That's the beautiful thing about watching Ryan play Halo. Just such a team player. The guy knows what it takes to win, and he's doing whatever he can right now.
Okay, there was 3 times Ryan Noob should have died in that clip.
Yeah.
And he was able to cap, and they were able to pull 2 flags and cap 2 flags from Ryan Noob staying alive. The most, he should have died first in Blue Cave, but he got out of that situation. Then he got pushed on, Red, almost around Red Cave, Red Fountain. Should have died there. Got the clutch no scope.
Yeah.
And on Red Bridge is where he just made the play. He was fighting a guy, top snipe, and he instead of trying to win the fight, he left the guy one shot. I had to go back and see who it was. He just went for the flag, leaving the guy there, saying, "I'm not going to fight you anymore. I'm done with this battle. I'm just going to jet over here and grab your flag and run it bottom middle."
Yeah.
And it caught, and it was another flag cap. It was just an unbelievable play. You see the rotation he did on the map there when I kind of just highlighted where he was moving with the sniper. You see all the dead bodies, the red X's that I highlighted, all the kills that he got. And not only that, but he put shots on so many people he was alive for about 3 minutes.
Yeah. He's so good.
It's not about moving. I think that's good communication too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But when I watched that live, that was the most shocking to me is when that guy was one shot and he's like, whatever.
Yeah, he just left them there.
He just left.
And I don't know if somebody finished him off. I really wish I could I really need to start getting the video, the playback, so I can start looking at different angles and moving the camera around so I can see what's going down. It's hard to tell when you got one angle. But someone finished that guy off, I'm assuming, but he made the play, man. He left that guy there, jumped their bridge, and then just started running their flag. He just map awareness is unparalleled. He knew where everybody was, and he knew it was the perfect time to just leave that guy and then go grab the flag and run it in the perfect side of the map.
Yeah.
It was an amazing play. Ryan Noob, you definitely deserve to be in the pro league for sure after that performance. Yeah. So Pro League is tomorrow. I want to see predictions. And you might notice in this graphic that Straight Rippin' is not there, and Luminosity played twice, and Evil Geniuses played twice. First, we thought it was a typo, but it turns out that Evil Geniuses has a scheduling conflict with a NASCAR event that they're going to attend.
They're doing another one of those?
They had a contest where they, if you won the contest, you got to play Halo with them and a couple NASCAR drivers on like a huge big screen on the track or something.
They did that last year.
Cool. They did something similar last year. It's not the same, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's a lot of great exposure for Halo. NASCAR's got a lot of huge fan base, so it's definitely a cool thing to see. Optic versus Ronin.
Optic.
Now, this is this is a given.
That's kind of
given. This is okay. Well, Evil Geniuses and Splice. Now,
that one's gonna be a good series.
I'm gonna say Evil Geniuses.
I'm gonna say Splice.
I'll say Splice. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Splice 3-1. I don't think Evil Geniuses have had enough time to prepare with their new setups.
I don't know, man. I have a feeling
Splice is a very practiced team.
But
they're very hot right now.
EG's been scrimming almost every day. I don't think it's that. Splice is, I just think, it's the better team.
I don't know, man. I have a feeling it's gonna be EG.
I mean, I want EG to turn it around and be that team again.
I would love to see the upset. I'm an underdog fan, so.
But they're both underdogs.
If Splice wins, I don't think it'd be like a blowout. I think it'd be really close the whole time.
I think it'd probably be a game 5-3-2 Splice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay too much attention to the time and date on this graphic. This came straight from ESL's website, and they never have anything correct. So. Team Envious and Luminosity. Now, I think Luminosity is going to come out fairly good in this series. I think it's going to be closer than we think it's going to be, but I do see Envy coming out on top on that one.
I agree with that.
Luminosity and Evil Geniuses. And since
that's a hard one.
Yeah, that's probably going to be one of the best matchups of the night, and I'm going to go with EG on that one. Luminosity I thought they were going to do better than they did fairly well at Daytona, but I thought they were going to do better than they did. They kind of let me down a little bit. So I'm going to go with EG on this one.
When Luminosity plays their game, though, they play really well. See, Luminosity is almost the team is like, if someone asks you, like, how good are they? Really depends.
Well, see, Luminosity
depends on the day.
Okay, the week before Daytona, I picked Saiyan as a player of the week, and I knew he was going to do well at Daytona. I've been watching this guy; he's been getting better and better and better, and he's probably he's one of the best players on that team. But I just don't think that I don't know what it is. He can do so well, but then somebody on the team drops the ball.
Yeah,
it seems like they're not all on the same page.
Yeah,
they get frustrated a lot with each other sometimes.
Yeah.
So, Pro League is tomorrow night. I'm not even sure exactly what time because ESL keeps changing the time on their website. One day it was 4, one day it was 7. I don't know. So here we are, the first Pro League match, and it's going to be. I mean, I can't wait. I did say Pro League I think is unhealthy for Halo, but I did miss watching Halo on a weekly basis. It is fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
That brings us to this week's community question. Now, I have 2 community questions for you people out there. Make sure you answer us at HCS_now on Twitter so we can reply and talk to you guys about everything competitive Halo. And the first question is, will EG improve or downgrade with the roster changes? So
you asking me?
No.
Oh, okay. That's I
don't care about you. Now, the first question is, will EG or improve or downgrade with their roster changes? Tapping buttons, and Ogre 2 is their coach. So make sure you check that out or answer that question at HCS_now. And the second one is the Pro League healthy for Halo Esports? Let us know what you think. We'll reply to you and we'll retweet whatever we want, I guess,
If it's clever enough.
If it's clever
I'm
enough.
just kidding.
Make sure you check out our YouTube as well. Like, subscribe, retweet all of our stuff so we can grow and keep the show going. And we will be back here the same time, same place, as always, covering everything that happened during the Pro League. And we will see you next time.